This is a demonstration of the Lab and Radiology module in prognosis. You have the choice to order labs and radiology as well as some other items from either an order sheet or within the individual section. Each of those are listed on your table of contents on the left-hand menu, and deciding which of those you would like to utilize, you can hide the other options. You can also move options up and down on this table of contents. First, going to the order sheet, we see that we can order lab, we can order radiology, consults, as well as procedures. Within each of these sections, you have a preferred list, which can be set up by your clinic to decide which of the tests that you order most often, and those will show in this list first. You can also view all of the tests set up within the system. You can search for a particular test here. And then you can also utilize order sets, which will give you the ability to order multiple tests at the same time. Once you have decided which tests you would like to order, you simply click the little arrow. It moves the test over to the right side. You can determine when you would like that to be scheduled, and it will also pull your ICD codes from your assessment screen into your order. When you click the Create Order button, it pops the order to the top of the screen. The order starting with lab or lab orders, the order starting with rad or radiology orders. And when you click into each order, you can see the specific details related to that order. So in this case, we have an in-house x-ray for the cervical area as well as the hip. If this was being sent to another vendor, you could choose the vendor here. You can also load some other information within the screen, such as instructions. When you are complete with that order, you have the ability to print it if necessary, fax it, or e-send it. If you choose to use the individual order screen and not opt for the order sheet, you can access those options on the table of contents. So our lab order screen goes specifically to labs. You can decide which vendor you would like to send that to. You can decide which tests that you would like to order. And again, you have your preferred list as well as all of the tests and your order sets. Similar functionality here, you can add additional information such as instructions. You can also print, fax, or e-send if you have a bilateral interface set up with your lab radiology vendor. Once a order has been created, the orders go into the cpoe menu. cpoe stands for Computerized Physician Order Entry, and each of the areas here have multiple choices. When you choose lab and order, it shows all of your open lab orders. You can then search for a specific patient or specific providers, specific labs orders from within this screen. And the search icons at the top can also be configured specifically to look for information that you would like to find, such as the test that you ordered, so that you can search for all the cholesterol tests, for instance. When a result is sent back to the provider, it can be faxed to the clinic and attached, or it can come directly through the interface. When a result comes through the interface, the labs come to this little blue icon at the top right, and the radiology results go to the red icon. When you click one of those icons, it takes you to the list of results for that particular area. So these are all of my lab results that are ready for review. When I click a patient's name, it will pull that lab result up for me. I can see results that are discrete data such as this. We also have the ability to see scanned data or information that is a PDF that has come over. From within each of these, you can click this button to see a matrix of side-by-side results. So if the patient had a specific test multiple times, you can see side-by-side the date that they had that test and the results from each time. Also from this screen, you can document that you've reviewed it. Once you mark that reviewed button, it will fall off your list You can add comments to that lab result or radiology result. And when you add those comments, you can then add this entire result to your next progress note. So you don't have to type those comments again. You can just add this directly into your progress note. You can also assign a task from this screen. This list of tasks is customizable. You can assign that to a specific person or a group of people via a role. You can mark that message urgent, which will make it pop up on their next click within the system. You can send a reminder to yourself, add notes to your message, add those notes to the patient's medical record, and then you can order an additional test if necessary directly from the screen. And again, from here, you can fax, email, or print that order. This same information is located within the patient's document list. So if you were to go to this patient's document list, you would see the same information there. So if you choose to review your lab results within the patient's encounter rather than here, you have that option. We also have an icon here that can be configured to show you any other specific information that you may want to see about the patient. So if you would like to see, for instance, their current medications, this area can be configured to add some additional information so that you can view that without having to ever leave this screen. You can also open these results up and write directly on them. So if you want to make some notes for the patients, you can actually come in and circle things and make notes and add information. Then when you save this, it saves that directly into the patient's record. This has been a streamlined review of the lab and radiology area in prognosis. The radiology area functions exactly the same as the laboratory area.